and they only made so much. So how much of it is really left after 17, 18 years? How much of it has not been opened? Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of MeelyStox. MeelyStox is part of the Slabstox network, and we started our episodes last week with episode 1 and just kind of introducing myself. If you didn't get a chance to see it, my name is Jameel. I'm a card shop owner here in Gainesville, Florida, and I've been doing this for about 2.5 years, owning a shop, 2.5 years, but I've been involved in cards for a lot longer than that, doing card shows, doing a lot on the eBays, grading, ComCs, everything in between. So today we're going to dive into what is going to be some of the top hottest boxes of 2020. I know we're not to the end of this tumultuous year yet, but just kind of like paralleling, what's been going on in the world, just ups and downs and ups and downs. We've had that as well with boxes, and I'm going to go over a few boxes today. Some I have in shop, some I don't, and we should have fun with this. But before we get going, just so you know who I am, like I said, I own the Mealy Pop shop here in Gainesville, Florida. I'd love to share with you guys a little bit more about what we do. We have a YouTube channel where you can check out anytime. Go subscribe to that. We put our breaks on there. We also have a pretty awesome Facebook group that does breaks weekly, and we post breaks that are going on. We'll have a whole new slew of breaks posted tomorrow. You can also find us on our Facebook page. And then, of course, Instagram, one of our biggest platforms. Give us a follow if you don't already follow us on Instagram. That'd be awesome. That's Shop Mealy Pops. But let's get to it. The top 20 hottest boxes of this past year. I want to go over a few. There's a lot more that we could go over, but I'll do my best to capture hopefully 3 today that we'll have fun with. So, all right. So the first box, or first set, you want to say, that I've seen just a lot of movement on is 2017 Prism Football. So I have here just a little blaster box, and I have a Target, what they call these, Target mega boxes here on set and in the shop. But the hobby boxes, I don't have any in stock right now. I don't know if you've gauged it or followed it, but the popularity of Prism in general has been just absolutely crazy, right? I mean, we see just this massive outpouring of people buying Prism, grading Prism, collecting Prism, flipping Prism, and so Prism has just become the marquee brand. I mean, we'll get into some Chrome here later today, but 2017 in general has just been so popular, mainly because of the rookie class and probably the most quintessential, quarterback to be this generationalist player in Patrick Mahomes. But you also have a lot of other things going on with 2017 Prism as well. A lot of people don't realize in 2017 when they released it, there wasn't as much options as we have now currently with Prism brands and some of these other Chrome-like brands. I think you only had in 2017 hobby boxes, hobby boxes, blaster boxes, retail boxes like the Target boxes. You had an FOTL option, and I think there may have been 1 or 2 other options, but it wasn't like we see like in Mosaic and Prism now where you have tons and tons and tons of different options. So the crazy thing is, what could you have paid for a 2017 Prism box back in the day? So let me pull up some things I've done using the marketplace tool with PWCC, and you guys can see here really quick. So these are the current. These are the prices back in the day. I just filtered these by auctions. We can do this, of course, by auctions and fixed prices as well. But these were in October of 2017. So you're looking at buying a hobby box of Prism 2017, probably for about $100 back then, which is just unheard of, right? $100 for a box. Whereas today, we've grown quite a bit in the sense of how much that stuff is going for. So currently, when you're on eBay, the last look that I had seen on these Prism 2017 hobby boxes were about $1,100 to $1,200. So we've seen that jump in quicker than 3 years. Boxes going from about $100 to $1,100 to $1,200. The other thing that's very interesting to me is blaster boxes you could have bought back then for less than $20. It seemed like they were selling for on eBay, and currently blaster boxes now are fetching somewhere between $550 and $600 for blaster boxes. So we'll get into kind of the outlook on those, at the end of this little episode today. But quite wild to think about how far that's jumped 2017 to 2020. What are people hunting in that stuff? It's the Prism rookies, right? As we typically see the Mahomes. So everybody knows there's no really silver Mahomes that came out in 2017. The same as 2016. All the rookies in 16 and 17 Prism were silver. So please know that when you're studying this stuff. I remember that back as clear as day. These cards were silver as the base, but there are no silver Prisms in 2017. That was the base card for Mahomes. So when you are looking stuff and you see people listing it that way, they're trying to catch on to something else. 2018 changed a little bit with Prism football, but 2016, 2017, you didn't have silver Prisms. Those are the base rookies. So those are some of the hot things that people were hunting. The 2017 rookies. Obviously Watson still is at play. Christian McCaffrey, Kamara, a lot of other people on that list. I mean, well, who knows? The Bears are 2-0. What might happen with Trubisky's stuff, right? So Mitch Trubisky and his stuff, and Prism 2017, one of the biggest jumps that I've seen this year in football. All right, let's move along over to basketball. As you can see, I also have it on camera there. 2018-19 Prism basketball, and I'm actually going to show off a little bit here. The good old FOTL. You guys know the FOTL sticker, right? There we go. So the FOTL sticker, 18-19 Prism. This was available online. Panini did it on their website, right? So you could go buy them online. And the prices at that time in 2018, I remember people just flipping these boxes and buying them. I don't know, they were 120 or 180 online. But here you go. Here is what they look like back in 2018 November. You could have got a hobby box sealed FOTL for about $330, $325, $350, somewhere in that range. So it's kind of funny to think about where they're at now. Right, so that's what you're looking at on these boxes back then. And then currently on eBay, the last sales that I was able to garner, so from 2018 November to now September 2020, these boxes are now selling for $4,500 to $5,000. So why are these so crazy? So the popularity with FOTL and Prism basketball really started to grow, I think, just watching this in 18-19. These boxes did shoot up through the season as Luka and Trey became more prominent and their rookies started to grow. But the big thing is the shimmer cards, right? So you get these FOTL shimmer cards out of 7. They could be light blue, dark blue, or red. And I don't think people realized how expensive a Luka Doncic or a Trey Young Prism shimmer card could be worth in current market. So that was probably one of the biggest things that people chased, were the shimmers, cards out of 7. Obviously, you could hit LeBrons and you could hit Kobe's as well in that set. So you had the vets as well at play, Giannis and those things. But people were really after the rookies and the shimmers, and of course grading them in high grade, whatnot. You get 1 shimmer per box. That's it. That's the only difference between that purple box and the hobby box. 1 shimmer per box. They're out of 7. I don't know if there's any trackers out there, but I think the last time I had seen Luka Shimmer selling, they were graded versions of them out of 7. They were upwards of $80,000, $100,000. I don't know if one has popped even recently, but that's just to show you how crazy that's gone with the Luka Doncic rookie cards out of Prism. So that's the popularity you saw. You saw that emerging class. You see a lot of the Prism hype that's grown. Really started in 18-19 in terms of the boom, and it just kind of moved forward past then. All right. So lastly, but I don't have any boxes to show you right now. It's 03-04 Topps Chrome Basketball. So 03-04 Topps Chrome Basketball has been quite a remarkable jump. Let me show you what a 03-04 Chrome Basketball box was at current market here. Let me go ahead and show you. So check this out. These are just last eBay sales of this past week. 8,000, 8.8, 11.3, 8.8, 12,000, 12.6. So you guys can see right there, 03-04 Topps Chrome Basketball, very expensive. How did it start? Well, when you go back and look at some of the price data metrics, these boxes were available in 03 for about $55. $55 you could have purchased one of these boxes for. So 03-04 Topps Chrome, massive set. I believe 03-04 Chrome to be kind of maybe the 4th set in modern basketball. And I'll even go back and say modern is 86-87 being number 1, Fleer, 96-97 Topps Chrome being number 2, 2003-2004 Topps Chrome being number 3, and the 4th set that I believe is the most iconic set is 2012-2013 Prism Basketball being the first Prism that's come out. So as you look back at 03-04, box prices at that time about $55 a box in '03, and then I just showed you on screen just this week seeing box prices trending between $8,000 and $12,000, which is pretty wild, right? So we've seen these changes in market very quickly. We've seen these things spike very quickly. So for us collectors out there putting these sets together, it doesn't make a lot of sense to try and buy these boxes, but maybe buying the singles on the secondary market. What I thought I'd do is I'd give you a future outlook on each one of these if you are looking to invest, or if you do have some of these stashed away. So 2017 Prism, we'll start with that. The good old Prism with Jameis Winston on the front. I feel like it's, no offense to Jameis or Kevin Knox, but both Jameis and Kevin Knox grace the covers of these boxes, and their careers haven't really been as monumental as Deshaun Watson or Luka Doncic. But 2017 Prism, obviously it's Mahomes heavy, so you're looking for Patrick Mahomes cards. You're looking for Patrick Mahomes, the rookie inserts, the base rookies, and of course, as you get into these target boxes and retail boxes, the pinks and the other parallels, the greens, the red, white, and blues, and the cellos. And then if you get the hobby boxes, the numbered versions, the golds, the autos, which are all huge. So that's obviously why there's such a huge outlook. And if you believe Mahomes is the next generational quarterback, he's the next true guy to win tons and tons of Super Bowls, then 17 Prism isn't really going to, I don't see it dropping. I mean, it's one of these products that you're not seeing a lot of anymore. People are buying a lot of it up, and it's expensive for a reason. I mean, you also have to remember, this is, I think, key, that this was pre-boom of the Prism generation, right? So 2017 Prism football, when it came out, I remember going to card shows and buying Prism, and there not being a lot of it, but nobody really wanted it. Nobody thought that class was very strong. And then, of course, look at what it became, and look at how Mahomes kind of snuck up, right? So the production runs of 2017 Prism, I don't have the numbers. I don't have that in at Panini to know the numbers of that production run, but it obviously was a lot lower than 18, 19, and of course this year with 2020 Prism, which is going to be a massive release, and I think there's going to be a lot of it that's made. You also have the additional guys we talked about earlier: Watson, McCaffrey, Kamara, Trubisky, guys that you may want to look for down the road to hold on to see if they go, especially if we're talking about quarterbacks. You have Watson and Trubisky there still, so kind of how you look at those guys, their future. And the other thing to remember is, I mentioned this just a little bit earlier, there was only hobby, cello, blaster options, the target boxes, and FOTL boxes, whereas with Prism now you have quite a bit of stuff, right? I mean, you get into the fast breaks, you get into these you get into these retail options where there's additional options available. So something to think about with that. I do think that 17 Prism was probably a limited run, and I do think that does garnish why the value is where it's at. So, all right, moving on. So 18-19 Prism FOTL, the long-term play for that. I mean, when you see sales of 18-19 Prism, right? And you see, where they've come, right? Again, just going back to this on screen here. These boxes were $325, $300 when they first came out. I remember negotiating with people, buying boxes of it, paying $400, $450, $500, be like, I don't know if I want to spend that much. We're looking at these boxes trending at $5,000 right now, $5,000 for an FOTL Prism box, and that's quite impressive, to be honest. I mean, just thinking about that from the long-term play, and who knows where Luka's career goes? Who knows what happens with Trae Young next year? Does he become potential MVP candidate because of how much he's going to get the ball and shoot and score? I think that there's a lot of shimmers that are still out there, so that also is at play. You got the cards out of 7, which are very sought after. I know people look at the shimmer world as maybe a card out of 21 instead of 7. I'm not sure why I did the 21 there. I just wanted to throw out some more nonverbal. Sorry about that. But you have the red, blue, and the light blue shimmers, which I think they garnish a lot of value. People really want that stuff. And then there's additional guys who might pop off in 18-19 that we're really kind of on the cusp right now. So look at Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Does Chris Paul go? Does he become more of a quintessential superpower or superstar on that team, scoring a lot of points, getting a lot of shots? What happens with DeAndre Ayton? Do the Suns become a legitimate team with Booker and him? Ayton stuff started to see a rise, and I think it's still gone up. Jaren Jackson Jr. partnered with John Morant, Devontae Graham. There's other guys in that class as well. So, I mean, if you're somebody looking forward and you believe in Luka, you only have these other guys additionally to kind of accelerate, I think, the process of that. And I think, there were, set print runs of FOTL. We know how much there was only made, and a lot of it was ripped. So, I do see the value of that, being pretty strong for years to come. I don't see it being much of a dip, to be honest, because let's just say the worst case scenario happens and Luka hurts himself or Luka just becomes irrelevant. I mean, you still have Trey and, like I said, those other guys who I think there's a lot of people prospecting on those guys. So we'll see how that pans out. But we all saw Luka in the playoffs this year, and I think that he's for real and he's here to stay. So I think 1819 FOTL Prism is an incredible buy, especially if you held on to some of it, or maybe you picked up a few boxes at $1,000 or $2,000. And then lastly, 03-04 Chrome Basketball. Where do we see 03-04 Chrome Basketball moving? Is it so expensive already? Here's how I view 03-04 Chrome Basketball. I mean, there's one card here, right? It's LeBron James. And how do you view LeBron James Chrome cards moving forward? We've seen his PSA 10s fluctuate. I know Aaron and the crew have done a good job kind of detailing LeBron Chrome rookies. We've seen them peak, at 15, 16,000 PSA 10. It's where do you believe that card goes in the next 5 or 10 years? I think if you're going to buy an 03-04 Chrome, does LeBron win a championship this year? Does he continue his legacy even after this year? Or does he lose? Does he not look so good? Does he retire soon? I still think he's a brand. I still think he's somebody people enjoy beyond basketball. So 03-04 Chrome is the only place you're going to find that card. So that keeps trending for me. I think at the price point that it's at, $11,000 to $12,000 for some boxes, that's pretty high. Make sure you're buying a legit box. Make sure maybe it's that it's factory sealed, it's not been resealed. Make sure maybe BBCE wrapped. Make sure you do your homework if you're going to be investing in that. And then the other thing that I think about with that is the gold refractors. So the gold refractors in 03-04 Chrome are out of 50. You have the X refractors out of 220. You have the black refractors next, and you have the base refractor and the base card. You don't have anything else lower than 50. So if the base card, if the gold refractor is out of 50 and they're so sought after, I don't see many of the gold refractors being sold. Of the big name players, Wade, Carmelo, Bosch, and LeBron. You don't really see those surface. So there's another kind of element, an allure to a seal box. Do they have a gold refractor in a box? I think that can drive that price as we watch those markets go up. Gold refractors have become very hard to find, I think. And they only made so much, right? This is a box that came out 17, 18 years ago, and they only made so much. So how much of it is really left after 17, 18 years? How much of it has not been opened and is in good condition? That's another thing, too, with Chrome is stuff, if they're condition sensitive, they get put in heat or storage units and there's no AC, the stuff kind of bricks together. So there's a lot of factors there, I think, with 03-04 Chrome as you move forward. Those are some 3 boxes that I've seen this year that have just trended up and away. There's plenty more. We could have talked about 2014 World Cup Prism. We could talk about National Treasures and all those other things. But I think the Prism and the Chrome brands are stuff that people are very readily had access to back in the times before they had exploded. And I think people really like them. So hopefully there's some 3 boxes to just kind of go over. It's been a crazy year, 2020. And look forward to seeing how we fare out with the rest of the year coming up here soon. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Slabstox. Make sure you subscribe to the MeelyPops stuff that we got going on as well. And follow us. We always got videos coming out and trying to put out some good content for everybody. We'll have some videos as well coming out soon that we'll be having with MeelyStox. Some other additional things such as some talking about Pokemon and grading and some more wax options, doing some more reviews of products that are coming out. So thanks everybody.